Jwwilliams funeral directors have been proudly serving the people of this community since 1918. Service is our motto. The poor, the rich, the middle class and all are given the best of care and attention at all times. You have the privilege to select what you want. In your time of need, contact the capable, the competent, and the dependable staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home who is genuinely concerned with your care. At Jwwilliams Funeral Home, you are aptly served by the proprietor president, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, who continues the traditions and values set forth by the past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. Your announcements for the Jwwilliams Funeral Home Sunday morning program are Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Reverend Isaac H. Owens, Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker, Minister Frankie Harmon, Miss Sandra Johnson, and Deacon Earl Clark, Jr.
Thank you and good morning, friends. We come to you this morning to bring announcements, dedications, and songs. We certainly hope that your day may be brighter after listening to our program. The family of United States Army veteran, Mr. Stanley Barner of Portsmouth, Virginia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Eugene Williams of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Michael Marquez Scott of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Sharon Yvette Rosadar Kennard of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Miss Glenda Adams of Hawkinsville, Georgia. Would like to thank their many friends for the food, the flowers, the condolences, and all other expressions of sympathy and kindness shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. United States Army veteran, Mr. Stanley Barner, age 62, died Saturday, March 30th, 2024 in Portsmouth, Virginia. The graveside memorial service for United States Army veteran Mr. Stanley Barner, age 62, was held Sunday, March 30th, the one-year anniversary of his death, at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. The Reverend Johnny Dean, pastor of the New Poplar Spring Baptist Church, officiated. Survivors include a beloved daughter, Miss Jacqueline Barnum, and her husband, Mr. Draven Barnum of Atlanta, Georgia. His devoted sons, Mr. Stanley R. Barner, Jr., and his wife, Mrs. Ashley Barner, Dr. Nigel S. Barner and his wife, Mrs. Delisa Barner of Aurora, Colorado, Mr. Tony Barner of Portsmouth, Virginia, and Mr. Elijah Roberts of North Fork, Virginia. 7 beloved grandchildren, 1 great-grandson, a devoted is the above sisters, Mrs. Rena Barner, Mrs. Berlina Barner Florence, both of Dallas, Texas, a special cousin, Mr. Bobby Barner of Atlanta, Georgia, a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. United States Army veteran, Mr. Stanley Barner, age 62, of Portsmouth, Virginia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. Mr. Eugene Williams, age 77, 408 West 22nd Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Wednesday, March 26, at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Eugene Williams, age 77, was held Sunday, March 30th, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. The Reverend Willie James Felton, pastor of the Zion Hope Baptist Church, officiated. The burial followed at the Pleasant Hill Church Cemetery, Hatley Community, Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his beloved sister, Mrs. Hattie M. Williams Carter of Cordele, Georgia, a beloved brother, Mr. Roosevelt Williams, and his wife, Mrs. Phyllis Williams of Cordele, Georgia, his beloved aunts, Mrs. Martha Ruth Westbrook of Araby, Georgia, and Mother Willie Mae Leary of Hatley, Georgia, his beloved nephews and nieces, Mr. Eddie Williams Sr. and his wife, Mrs. Melinda Williams, Mr. Michael Williams, Mr. Kenneth Williams, Mrs. Phyllis Jackson and her husband, Mr. Frank Jackson, Mr. Benjamin Carter, Mr. Isaiah Carter Jr., Mrs. Laura Swint and her husband, Mr. Antonio Swint, Ms. Tamara Clark, Miss Latricia Williams, and Miss Keisha Lewis and her husband, Mr. Philip Lewis, his godchildren, Miss Mika Hayes, Mr. Terrell Tarbert, Miss Amanda Nance, and Miss Tamika Tarbert. Survives Mr. Eugene Williams, age 77, 408 West 22nd Avenue, Cordele, Georgia. Mr. Michael Marquez Scott, age 24, of 391 Dykes Avenue, Rochelle, Georgia, died Wednesday, March 26, of injury sustained in an automobile accident in Pineview, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Michael Marquez Scott, age 24, was held Saturday, April 5th, in the sanctuary of the First Baptist Church in Rochelle, Georgia. Bishop Horace Bentley officiated, and the eulogy was delivered by Elder J.W. Bentley. The burial followed at the Piney Grove Cemetery in Rochelle, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted parents, Miss Julia Scott of Rochelle, Georgia, Prophet Michael Scott of Warner Robins, Georgia, and Mr. John Thompson and his wife, Mrs. Willa Thompson of Rochelle, Georgia. His beloved sisters, Miss LaPortia Emery and Miss Tashonda Emery of Rochelle, Georgia. His beloved brothers, Mr. Victor Grace and his wife, Mrs. Kanisha Grace of Hawkinsville, Georgia, Mr. John Thompson of Savannah, Georgia, Mr. DeMarcus Lewis and Mr. Jamarcus Lawson of Rochelle, Georgia. His beloved stepsisters, Miss Sierra McGill of Stockbridge, Georgia, and Miss Wendy Childs of Rochelle, Georgia. His stepbrother, Mr. Joshua McGill of Rochelle, Georgia. His loving grandparents, Miss Norma Emery of Rochelle, Georgia, Mr. Elsie and Miss Florine Scott of Ashburn, Georgia. His aunts and uncles, Mr. Jerome Emery, Mrs. Venice Emery, Mrs. Sharon Brown, Mr. Gabriel Scott, Mr. Tony Scott, Mr. Elsie Scott, Mrs. Willeen Crockett, Miss Rhonda Williams, and Miss Rose Miller. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Mr. Michael Marquez Scott, age 24, of 391 Dykes Avenue, Rochelle, Georgia. Miss Sharon Yvette Rosador Kennard, age 68, of 614 East 12th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Friday, March 21st at her residence in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Sharon Yvette Rosador Kennard, age 68, was held Saturday, April 5th, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. Elder LaQuinton Robinson officiated. The burial followed at the Sunnyside Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include her living and devoted children, Mr. John Kennard and his wife, Mrs. Randy Kennard, Mr. Matt Kennard and his wife, Mrs. Morgan Kennard of Jacksonville, Florida, Mrs. Mary Exodore and her husband, Mr. Alex Exodore of Roswell, Georgia, Mrs. Rena Tatum and her husband, Mr. Justin Tatum of Cordele, Georgia. 8 beloved grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild, her beloved brothers, Mr. Aldo Rosador and Mr. Melvin Rosador, both of Columbus, Georgia, a host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive, to include the Brackett family of Cordele, Georgia. Survived Mrs. Sharon Yvette Rosador Kennard, age 68, of 614 East 12th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia. Miss Glenda Adams, age 77, of 3190 Pine Drive, Hawkinsville, Georgia, died Saturday, March 29th at Taylor Regional Hospital in Hawkinsville, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Glenda Adams, age 77, was held Saturday, April 5th, in the sanctuary of the Big Poplar Spring Baptist Church in Unadilla, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Lucius Albritton, officiated. The eulogy was delivered by the Reverend Steve Askew. The burial followed in the churchyard cemetery. Survivors include 2 living and devoted sisters, Mrs. Vera Adams Brown and her husband, Mr. Charlie Brown, and Miss Clemmy Adams, both of Hawkinsville, Georgia. Her devoted niece and goddaughter, Miss Tara Adams of Hawkinsville, Georgia. Her special nieces, Miss Felicia Thomas, Miss Zamaya Thomas, Miss Sakayla Thomas of Federal Way, Washington. Her special nephew, Mr. Zachary Thomas of Federal Way, Washington. Her special cousin, Mr. Vaughn Holmes, and his wife, Mrs. Lakeitha Holmes of Fort Valley, Georgia. A host of other relatives and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Miss Glenda Adams, age 77, of 3190 Pine Drive, Hawkinsville, Georgia. Again, the family of United States Army veteran, Mr. Stanley Bonner of Portsmouth, Virginia. The family of Mr. Eugene Williams of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Michael Marquez Scott of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Sharon Ivette Rosador Kennard of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Miss Glenda Adams of Hawkinsville, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for all of the many kindnesses shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. May God bless each of you is their prayer. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna were in charge of each of these arrangements during the past week. And now, it is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcement. Mr. Jerry Lee White, better known as Bear, age 45, of 570B Small Peace Road, Plains, Georgia, died Friday, March 28th at the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted mother, Mrs. Ruby Lee Merritt Sims of Plains, Georgia, a very loyal friend, Miss Sherry Blakely of Plains, Georgia. The children he regarded as his own, Zakiel, Luke, Shy, Tawan, Nisha, and Tay. His loving and devoted sisters, Mrs. Brenda Merritt and her husband, Mr. Mike Merritt of Plains, Georgia, and Miss Dana White of Americus, Georgia. His beloved aunts and uncles, Mr. Sam Sims III of Plains, Georgia, Miss Maddie and Joel Turner of Oglethorpe, Georgia, Miss Ethel Sims, and Miss Nancy and Mr. Henry Harris of Columbus, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, great-nieces, and great-nephews, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survived Mr. Jerry Lee White, better known as Bear, age 45, of 570B Small Peace Road, Plains, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Jerry Lee White, better known as Bear, age 45, will be held Monday, April 7th at 12 noon in the sanctuary of the Whole Truth International Ministries in Americus, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend George F. Muntz, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Bethlehem Cemetery in Plains, Georgia. The public visitation will be today from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Miss Annie Ruth Wright Perry, age 76, of 500 South Shallalon Drive, Albany, Georgia, died Tuesday, April 1st at the Finnis Hospice in Albany, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Miss Shakila Mallett and her husband, Mr. Tommy Mallett of Albany, Georgia, Miss LaShondra Perry of Atlanta, Georgia, Miss Twyla Perry of Albany, Georgia, and the Reverend Christopher Perry and his wife, Mrs. Robbie Perry of Brunwood, Georgia. 7 beloved grandchildren, 13 great-grandchildren, her loving and devoted sisters, Mrs. Emma Green and her husband, Mr. Nathaniel Green of Albany, Georgia, Mrs. Dolly Morgan of Atlanta, Georgia, Ms. Rosa Wright, Mrs. Marita Jones, and Ms. Darlene Coleman, all of Albany, Georgia. Her beloved brothers, Deacon Emery Wright and his wife, Mrs. Robbie Wright of Albany, Georgia, and Mr. Leonard Wright of Atlanta, Georgia. A host of devoted nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Miss Annie Ruth Wright Perry, age 76, of 500 South Shallalon Drive, Albany, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Annie Ruth Wright Perry, age 76, will be held on Saturday, April 12th at 10 a.m. in the sanctuary of the New Birth Fellowship Christian Church in Albany, Georgia. Elder L.B. Gardner, pastor. The Reverend Lorenza Hurd will officiate. The eulogy will be delivered by her beloved son, the Reverend Christopher Perry, pastor of the New Beulah Baptist Church. The burial will follow at the St. Matthew's Church Cemetery in Leesburg, Georgia. The public visitation will be Friday, April 11th from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Retired United States Air Force Command Sergeant Mr. Curtis Rogers Jr., age 89, of Hampton, Virginia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia, died Friday, March 28th at the Waterview Health and Rehabilitation Center in Hampton, Virginia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Edith Rogers of Hampton, Virginia, his beloved and devoted son, Mr. Thomas L. Rogers of Austin, Texas, his beloved grandchildren, Mr. Malcolm X. Rogers and Mr. Warren J. Rogers of Austin, Texas, his beloved sisters, Mrs. Jewel R. Scott of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Miss Gloria Mapp, and Mrs. Mary Adams and her husband, Mr. Jerome Adams of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved and devoted brothers, Deacon Leroy Rogers and his wife, Mrs. Ruth Rogers, Deacon Jesse Rogers and his wife, Mrs. Helen Rogers, Mr. Donald Rogers and his wife, Mrs. Gladys Rogers, all of Cordele, Georgia. Mr. Charles Rogers of Atlanta, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Retired United States Air Force Command Sergeant Mr. Curtis Rogers Jr., age 89, of Hampton, Virginia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service with full military honors for retired United States Air Force Command Sergeant Mr. Curtis Rogers Jr., age 89, will be held Wednesday, April 16th at 11 a.m. in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. The burial will follow at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. The public visitation will be Tuesday, April 15, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Beloved Church Mother, Mother Annie Lee Morgan Askew, age 92, of 101 Greenville Court, Kathleen, Georgia, died Saturday, April 5th at the Lodge in Warner Robins, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Mr. Eddie James Askew and his wife, Mrs. Vivian Askew of Cordele, Georgia, Mr. Otis Askew and his wife, Mrs. Jean Askew of Unadilla, Georgia, Mr. Dewey Askew and his wife, Mrs. Peggy Askew, and Mr. James Askew and his wife, Mrs. Barbara Askew of Elko, Georgia, Mrs. Shirley Keene and her husband, Mr. Willie Keene of Kathleen, Georgia, Mrs. Sharon Green of Warner Robins, Georgia, Mr. Frederick Askew and his wife, Mrs. Anna Askew of Byron, Georgia, the Reverend Steve Askew and his wife, Mrs. Louise Askew of Reynolds, Georgia, and Miss Wendy Stembridge of Byron, Georgia. A beloved son-in-law, Mr. James Askew Sr. of Perry, Georgia. A beloved daughter-in-law, Mrs. Aletha Askew of Cordele, Georgia. 50 beloved grandchildren, 50 great-grandchildren, 15 great-great-grandchildren, a beloved sister, Mrs. Naomi Stubbs of Cordele, Georgia, a host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Beloved Church Mother, Mother Annie Lee Morgan Askew, age 92, of 101 Greenville Court, Kathleen, Georgia. The funeral service for beloved Church Mother, Mother Annie Lee Morgan Askew, age 92, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Friends, that concludes our funeral notices for this morning. And as always, we do remind each of you concerning our pre-funeral arrangements planning available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home, with packages available with a single pay, a 3-year pay, a 5-year pay, and a 10-year pay. So please stop by and talk with us concerning your pre-funeral arrangements needs available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.
Sunday, April 13th at 2 o'clock p.m. Dr. Beverly M. Bolden, pastor of Pleasant Valley Baptist Church, Pinehurst, will be the guest speaker. Everyone is invited to attend. Dinner will be served. Sister Cassandra Askew, secretary. Mother Nanny Burke, church mother. Reverend Joseph Atkins is the pastor. The The Pleasant Hill Baptist Church family cordially invites you to their annual Men and Women's Day. The service will be held today, Sunday, April 6th, beginning at 11 o'clock a.m. The guest speakers are Minister Alveda Lewis and Deacon David Byron. Everyone, again, has a cordial invitation to attend. Sister Gloria Lucas, reporter. Deacon Jimmy Redding, chairman of deacons. Reverend Rodney Duncan is the pastor. The St. Mark Baptist Church Easter Extravaganza will be on Saturday, April 12th from 12 noon until 4 o'clock p.m. Everyone is cordially invited to attend and asked to bring your lawn chairs. Reverend James Jordan Sr. is the pastor. The New Poplar Springs Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday at 9:45 a.m., each Wednesday via conference call at 6:30 a.m. for morning prayer, and at 7 o'clock p.m. for an hour of encouragement. The dial-in number is 253-993-3761. Pastor Teacher Johnny Dean is the pastor. The New St. Paul Baptist Church of America's annual Youth Day will be today, beginning at 11 o'clock a.m. Evangelist Stacy Sims will deliver the message. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Deacon Wilbur Sims, chairman of deacons. Reverend Michael Walker is the pastor. The Antioch Baptist Church of Americas will celebrate the 9th anniversary of Pastor Ricky and First Lady Veronda Cladd today. The service will begin at 11 o'clock a.m. A special program has been planned. Deacon David Laster, chairman of deacons. Minister Ricky Cladd is the pastor. The Jerusalem Baptist Church of Ellaville Youth Day service will be on Sunday, April 13th at 11 o'clock a.m. Minister Brenda Jones will be the guest speaker. Dr. Deanne Holsey is the pastor. The Pleasant Grove Baptist Church Men and Women's Day program will be on Sunday, April 13th at 11 a.m. Minister Yolanda Robinson and Dr. Brandon Williams will be the speakers. Unity colors are yellow and tan. Reverend Sterling Vereen is the pastor. The Big Bethel Baptist Church of Americas will host the Albany State University Community Needs Assessment and Focus Group for Sumter County on Thursday, April 17th at 6 o'clock p.m. The topics of discussion are technology, resources, and education. Questions may be answered. For more information, please call Dr. K.V. Edie, Community Organizer, at 229-881-5763. The Union Baptist Church of Montezuma Revival Service will begin on Tuesday, April 22nd through Thursday, April 24th at 7 o'clock p.m. Reverend Luther Barnes, gospel singer and pastor of Restoration Worship Center, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, will be the guest revivalist. Everyone is cordially invited to attend. Pastor Donald Walker is the pastor. Believe Covenant Deliverance Ministries of America's deacon ordination ceremony for Brother D. King will be observed on Sunday, April 27th at 2 p.m. The Mount Salem Baptist Church, Green Grove Baptist Church, and Pastor Muriel Harris will be the guest. Pastor Crystal Heath is the host pastor. The Beautiful Zion Baptist Church anniversary will climax today, Sunday, April 6th at 11 a.m. The Little Rock Baptist Church of Reverend Joseph Green will be the guest. Everyone is cordially invited to attend. Mother Donna Mae Childs, Church Mother, Reverend Lorinda Ray is the pastor. The Mount Olive Baptist Church of Warwick Family and Friends Day celebration will be observed today, Sunday, April 6th, beginning at 10 o'clock a.m. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Refreshments will be served. Mother Willie Mae Walker, Church Mother. Deacon Lindbergh Williams Jr., Chairman of Deacons. Bishop Jerome Milton is the pastor. The New Williams Grove Baptist Church deacon ordination service for Brother Charles Doster Jr. and Brother Carlos Dalston will be observed today, beginning at 2 o'clock p.m. Reverend Tiller Sims will be the guest speaker. Sister Linda Maddox, Secretary. Mother Gradine Ford, Church Mother. Deacon Winfred Green, Chairman of Deacons. Reverend Nikita Lester is the pastor. The National Grits Festival will be on Saturday, April 12th at 9 a.m. in downtown Warwick, Georgia, starting with the Grits Breakfast at 7 a.m. Featuring stripling sausage, there will be food trucks and activities. A grits contest and cook-off will also take place. For more information, please contact the Honorable Mayor Juanita Kitchens for information. The Little Rock Baptist Church of Araby Pastor's Appreciation Day for Reverend Joseph and First Lady Evangelist Beverly Green will be observed on Sunday, April 13th at 2 o'clock p.m. Mother Adeline Lofton, Church Mother, Deacon Nathaniel Nance, Chairman of Deacons, Dr. Vilene Ray, Assistant Pastor, Reverend Joseph Green is the pastor. The Zion Grove Baptist Church Winona will celebrate the 122nd church anniversary beginning on Thursday, April 24th at 7 o'clock p.m. Greater New Bethel Baptist Church of Sylvester and Reverend Terrell Carter will be the guest church. The anniversary will climax on Sunday, April 26th at 2 o'clock p.m. with Emmanuel Baptist Church and Reverend Gregory Williams in charge of the service. Everyone is invited to attend. Sister Elaine Bryant, Church Mother, Deacon Xavier Bryant is the Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Willie James Felton is the pastor. Greater New Birth Outreach Ministries' third annual Autism Awareness event will be on Saturday, April 26th from 12 p.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. This event aims to promote acceptance, inclusion, and support for individuals with autism and their families. Mrs. April Thompson will be the speaker, hosted by Mrs. Kamisha Spears. Reverend Kenneth Bivens is the host pastor. The Mount Moriah Baptist Church will celebrate the 111th church anniversary and the 23rd anniversary of Pastor Reverend Ivory Corbin on Sunday, April 27th. Sunday school at 9 o'clock a.m., worship service at 10 a.m. Deacon Samuel McGill, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Ivory Corbin is the pastor. The Greater Mars Tabernacle Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them today. Sunday school at 9 a.m., worship service at 9:30 a.m. Mother Mary Henderson, Church Mother, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Chairman of Deacons, Dr. K.M. Williams is the pastor. The Mount Zion First African Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them today. Worship service begins at 11 o'clock a.m. Deacon Joe Wedges, Chairman of Deacons, Dr. Dan James III is the pastor. You're cordially invited to worship at the Gethsemane Baptist Church today. Worship service begins at 10:30 a.m. Deacon Johnny Wilson, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Cecil Straughter is the pastor. The New Oak Grove Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday for Sunday school at 9:15 a.m., worship service at 10 o'clock a.m. Deacon Alonzo Jones, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend W.W. Wilson is the pastor. You have a cordial invitation to worship at the Greater Gum Creek Baptist Church today. Worship service begins at 10:30 a.m. Mother Norma Solomon, Church Mother, Deacon Zachary Fields, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Joseph Hagerbrook is the pastor. The St. Paul Presbyterian Church invites you to worship with them today. Worship service begins at 11 o'clock a.m. For more information, please contact the Clerk of Sessions, Ms. Elder Ola Outlaw, or the pastor, Pastor Owita Hageman. The Emmanuel Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them today. Sunday school at 10 o'clock a.m., worship service at 11:15 a.m. Bible study is held each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Mother William McGill, Church Mother, Reverend Gregory Williams is the pastor. You're cordially invited to worship at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church today. Sunday school begins at 9:30 a.m., worship service at 10:45 a.m. Mother Evelyn Lewis, Church Mother, Deacon Leon Spears, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Isaac Owens is the pastor. And again, we remind you, if you have announcements that you would like for us to use on our Sunday morning program, you're more than welcome to drop them by the funeral home Monday through Saturday, until 12 o'clock noon, or you may email them to us at info@jwwilliams.com, and you may fax them at 229-273-5111. And as always, you may drop them in the mail to us at Post Office Box 516, Cordele, Georgia. Please join us each Sunday morning for our Sunday morning broadcast on WSST-TV from 7 until 8 o'clock a.m., WDEC Radio 94.9 out of Americas at 7:30 to 8 o'clock a.m., and you may always reach us at Facebook on our J.W. Williams Funeral Home Facebook page or our J.W. Williams Funeral Home YouTube channel. That concludes our announcements for this morning.
And now for dedications. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following: in loving memory of Minister Sheila Johnson, who would have celebrated her birthday April 2nd, dedication and departed this life April 14, 2023. Dedication requested by her beloved mother, Mother Diane Flood, and the entire family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mrs. Mildred Swanson, who would have celebrated her birthday April 6, dedication requested by her beloved daughter, Miss Pam Collier, and the entire family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mr. Jerry Savage, who departed this life April 8, 2017, dedication requested by the Patrick and Savage family. Precious memory lingers still. In loving memory of Mother Esther Smart, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mrs. Gabriella Demry, who departed this life April 6, 2024. Dedication requested by the Demry family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of the Reverend Leroy Atkins, who would have celebrated his birthday April 10th. Dedication requested by the Atkins family. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following: happy 28th anniversary to Chairman Deacon Sammy and Sister Shanice McGill, who celebrated their anniversary Saturday, April 5th. Dedication requested by their children, grandchildren, the entire McGill and Parker families, and the members of the Mount Moriah Baptist Church. Happy 28th anniversary to Chairman Deacon Sammy and Sister Shanice McGill. God continue to bless your union and keep it strong. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following: happy birthday. Happy birthday to Mrs. Mary Frances Davis, who celebrated her birthday March 28th. Dedication requested by her beloved family. Happy birthday to Mr. Jaden Ray, who celebrated his birthday Tuesday, April 1st. And also happy birthday to Miss Sheena Ray, who will celebrate her birthday Thursday, April 10th. Dedication requested by the Ray family. Special birthday wishes goes out to the Reverend Dion Jones, who is celebrating his birthday today. Today's Sunday, April 6th. Dedication requested by his beloved family and the members of the New Oak Grove Baptist Church and the staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Happy birthday to the Reverend Dion Jones and many, many more. Special birthday wishes goes out to Mrs. Leslie Green Johnson, who celebrated her birthday on Friday, April 4th. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following: Deacon George Jordan and family, Deacon Jerome Jordan and family, Mr. A.J. and Mother Vera Rivers and family, Mr. and Mrs. Willie James Patrick and family, Mrs. Bernice Laster and family, Mother Willie Mae Leary and family of Hatley, Georgia, and the Carter family of Hatley, Georgia, Mrs. Angela Henderson Redding, city manager of the city of Cordele, Miss Christine Gaines and family, Miss Geraldine Harvey and family, Miss Dorothy Bryant and family, Mrs. Louise Parker Royal and family, Mrs. Helen Parker Sanders and family, Deacon Frank and Sister Gloria Mays and family, and the entire Mays family, Mr. Albert and Mrs. Debbie Mitchell and family, Mr. Robert and Mrs. Dolores Hawkins and family, Deacon Lawrence and Mrs. Gwen Williams and family of Leslie, Georgia, Deacon and Mrs. Jake Reese and family, Mrs. Dorothy Lucas and family, the Reverend Willie E. Lockett and Sister Helen Lockett and family of Albany, Georgia, pastor of the Greater Pines Chapel Baptist Church of Albany, Georgia, Mrs. Lucille Bacon family, Mother Willie May Walken family of Warwick, Georgia, Deacon and Mrs. Jimmy Fagan and family, Mrs. Gail Grant and family, Mother Adeline Lofton, church mother of the Little Rock Baptist Church of Araby, Georgia, Miss Kay Brown and family, and the entire Brown family of Araby, Georgia, Bishop and Mrs. Arthur West and family, Brother James L. Hughes and the members of the Church of Christ at Hilltop. Deacon Eddie Porter Jr. and family, Mr. James Gaines and family, Mr. Ricky Hardeman and family, Miss Loretta Cole and family, Miss Ann Brooks and family, Mrs. Penella Jones and family, Miss Pam Colley and family, Brother Johnny, Mrs. Barbara Dennis and family, Sister Lucille McGill and family, Sister Gwen McGill and family, again to Chairman Deacon Sam and Mrs. Shanice McGill and family, again as they celebrate their anniversary, Brother Oscar, Mrs. Patricia McGill and family, Brother Draven McGill, Chairman of the Board of Assessor of Chris County, Mrs. Ann Whitehead and family, Deacon Eugene and Mrs. Deborah Williams and family. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to Mrs. Elnora Ray and family, Minister, and Mrs. Robbie Williams and family, Mrs. Alma Johnson and family, Mrs. Ernestine Gaines and family, Deacon Major Walker and family, Mr. Leroy Bass and family, Stuart Lonnie Barrett and family, Mrs. Linda Butcher and family, Mrs. Eula Hamilton and family, Mr. Edward Butler and family, Mrs. Carolyn Bolden and family, the entire Bolden and Perry family, the Reverend and Mrs. Charles Perry Jr. and family, and the Walker family, Mrs. Anna Roy and family, Mrs. Virginia Williams and family, Mr. and Mrs. A.B. Levant and family, Mrs. Dorothy Rose Jones and family, Mr. Wayne Foster and family, Mr. Nicholas Johnson and family, Mr. and Mrs. Broccoli Johnson and family, Mr. and Mrs. Dwight Johnson and family, Mr. and Mrs. Freddie Pittman and family, Mr. and Mrs. Cedric Johnson and family, Mrs. Marie Porter and family, Mr. and Mrs. Harry Fox and family, Elder J.C. and Minister Annette Clark and family, Mr. Robert and Mrs. Fannie Mae Polk and family, Minister Robbie and Mrs. Joanne Williams and family, Mr. Norris and Mrs. Gail Bembry and family, Mrs. Dolores Lamons and family, Mr. Joseph Bryant III, the Reverend Jolie Butts and family, Mrs. Rosa Colbert and family, Ms. Janie Mae Miller and family, Elder Alice Mae McKenzie and family, Mr. Frankie Lee Robinson and family, Mrs. Dockwita Hunt and family, Mr. Artis Dawson and family, Mr. John Reese and family, Mrs. Barbara Adams and family, Mrs. Virginia Everett and family, Mr. Jeremiah Harvey and family. Our first selection for this morning. It is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcement. Mr. Jerry Lee White, better known as Bear, age 45, of 570B Small Peace Road, Plains, Georgia, died Friday, March 28th at the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Jerry Lee White, better known as Bear, age 45, will be held Monday, April 7th at 12 noon in the sanctuary of the Whole Truth International Ministries in Americus, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend George F. Muntz, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Bethlehem Cemetery in Plains, Georgia. The public visitation will be today from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Miss Annie Ruth Wright Perry, age 76, of 500 South Shalom Drive, Albany, Georgia, died Tuesday, April 1st at a Finis Hospice in Albany, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Ann Ruth Wright Perry, age 76, will be held on Saturday, April 12th at 10 a.m. in the sanctuary of the New Birth Fellowship Christian Church in Albany, Georgia. Elder L.B. Gardner, pastor, the Reverend Lorenzo Hurd will officiate. The eulogy will be delivered by her beloved son, the Reverend Christopher Perry, pastor of the New Beulah Baptist Church. The burial will follow at the St. Matthew's Church Cemetery in Leesburg, Georgia. The public visitation will be Friday, April 11th from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Retired United States Air Force Command Sergeant Mr. Curtis Rogers, Jr., age 89, of Hampton, Virginia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia, died Friday, March 28th at the Waterview Health and Rehabilitation Center in Hampton, Virginia. The funeral service with full military honors for retired United States Air Force Command Sergeant Mr. Curtis Rogers, Jr., age 89, will be held Wednesday, April 16th at 11 a.m. in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. The burial will follow at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. The public visitation will be Tuesday, April 15th from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Beloved church mother, Mother Annie Lee Morgan Askew, age 92, of 101 Greenville Court, Kathleen, Georgia, died Saturday, April 5th at the Lodge in Warner Robins, Georgia. The funeral service for beloved church mother, Mother Annie Lee Askew, age 92, will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangement. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Our next and final selection for this morning is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones were laid to rest during the past week. The family of United States Army veteran Mr. Stanley Barner of Portsmouth, Virginia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Eugene Williams of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Michael Marquez Scott of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Sharon Yvette Rosador Kennard of Cordele, Georgia, and the family of Miss Glenda Adams of Hawkinsville, Georgia. This selection is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones will be laid to rest during this week. The family of Mr. Jerry Lee White, better known as Bear, of Plains, Georgia. The family of Miss Annie Ruth Wright Perry of Albany, Georgia. The family of retired United States Air Force Command Sergeant Mr. Curtis Rogers, Jr. of Hampton, Virginia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. The family of beloved church mother, Mother Annie Lee Morgan Askew of Kathleen, Georgia. This selection is dedicated to all the sick and shut in, to all patients in the local and surrounding hospitals, nursing homes, and rehabilitation centers, to our beloved ministers and their devoted family members, to all retired educators, to the men and women serving in armed forces, both stateside and abroad, to all veterans, and to everyone who listens to our program on each Sunday morning. It's a pleasure for us to bring it to you. Our program goes out in memory of our past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams, to my wife, Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker, to my son, John Wilkerson Parker. This selection goes out to my brother, retired Chief Master Sergeant Norman F. Dexter, and his wife, Dr. Gwendolyn Maxine Dexter, and their grandson, Nova. This selection goes out to my sister, Mrs. Patsy Jackson, and her husband, Mr. Jim Jackson of Cordele, Georgia. This selection goes out to my nephew, Deacon Kenneth Smith, program chairman of the Greater Morris Tabernacle Baptist Church, and here presenting our program to our Facebook watchers and our on our YouTube channel. Goes out to our pastor, Dr. K.M. Williams, pastor of the Greater Morris Tabernacle Baptist Church and moderator of the Gum Creek Missionary Baptist Association, to his wife, Sister Kathy Williams, and the entire Williams family. Goes out to our dear friend and brother, long-standing, the Reverend Johnny Dean, pastor of the New Poplar Spring Baptist Church of Byronville, Georgia, and our dear brother, Deacon Jimmy Charles Mumphrey, to his wife, Sister Carol Mumphrey, educator in the Chris County School System. This selection goes out to our beloved Ms. Easter May Sanders and to Mr. Cleveland R. Lemon, the oldest staff member of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. God bless you on this first Sunday in April 2025. Good morning to Brother Leon Hawkins and his mother, Mother Melan Hawkins.
Thank you for joining us this morning. We hope you've enjoyed our program. Tune in again on next Sunday morning. In your time of need, contact the competent, capable, and dependable staff at the J.W. Williams Funeral Home.